Guys, so in this section I'm going to talk about EEAT, expertise, experience, authoritativeness and trustworthiness, or trust, whatever way you want to call it. Now, obviously over the years we've seen a lot of affiliate websites who really don't have an About Us page or a persona built around the website being slammed by Google because EEAT isn't just for the medic niche or your money, your life. I believe that it's been rolled out across all niches. So you need to have a person behind a website. Even if it's a fake persona, it doesn't matter. You still have to build up those trust signals. So some people do use fake personas. Why do you need to do that? If you or me are behind a website, and I can be behind my own website, I can be behind my link building agency, I can be behind my digital PR agency, I can be behind a number of websites. I have still built up the expertise, authority and trust within the industry to put my face behind multiple websites. So your persona or you can do the same. Now, I'm going to tell a fun story at the start, and then I'm going to show you how you can do it a hell of a lot quicker than me, because when I was doing this, I made a lot of mistakes and basically done things that no one else or no one told me I shouldn't do. So let's go through it. So guys, I'm going to talk about EAT, and I'm going to do it all in one video for this section. It's probably going to take about 20 minutes, but I'm going to tell you the story and then give you the deliverables at the end in terms of what you can do to do it a lot faster than me. Because the story is quite important, because there's a few golden nuggets within the story. So EEAT, we all know that a lot of websites over the years have been slammed. You know, they had the medic update, so we can't have any old blogger, you know, sticking out medical advice. You had to kind of have the you know, expertise, authority and trust to be able to write about medical things. That was then rolled out to your money, your life, and I believe it's been rolled out full stop, you know, across the board. In 2020, at the end of it, we've seen a lot of websites that didn't have a person about us page or anything, basically falling off a cliff. And a lot of people blame that on EAT. So you've heard a lot of people talking about that over the years. And I believe that to be true. You know, you can't just have someone just churning out crappy websites full of buy this, buy that, best this, best that. It's crap. So you have to build up a bit of expertise, authority and trust. So that's what it stands for. I believe it's rolled out across the industry. And we'll go from there. So it builds trust and credibility. Build a persona around your business. Now, we're going to use me in this example. You know, I'm Craig Campbell. I'm just some guy from Glasgow. Who's going to trust me? So I've got to go out and do my thing, speaking at events, you know, doing podcasts, doing all the usual stuff. I then go on and, you know, get on Forbes India, talking... you know, getting linked. Obviously, I'm doing it for links, but I'm also doing it to build up my profile. Getting some local papers like the Daily Record, which is a local one in Glasgow. Yahoo Finance, which was a PR blast. You know, talking about image rankings. All to trigger the knowledge panel and build up the expertise, authority and trust. Now, what Google's knowledge graph looks like, it's all about links, entities, all joining the dots together. Essentially, you know, Walt Disney are up there. You've got Ridley Scott. You've got Harrison Ford. You know, you've got all of these things joining the dots. And Walt Disney's sitting at the top. You know, that's the organisation. You've got the production company, the genre, all of that kind of stuff. These are all entities and things that you want to join together. Now, what entities do you need in order to trigger a knowledge panel? Now, you can use a tool like Calicube.pro. You can go to the country you're in, whether it's person or company schema, and you can then go and see what entities people are on in order to trigger the knowledge panel, because they're obviously scraping the knowledge panel. So you've got the likes of Amazon and Wikipedia, LinkedIn, Google, Crunchbase, fandom, Forbes, Entrepreneur, Twitter, all the usual stuff. Now, I go out and I get most of these. Easy peasy. So I get a knowledge panel, call myself an SEO consultant, I think it was, and trigger the knowledge panel. I follow Jason's method. Knowledge panel number 1 delivers. Now, the fucking thing came down. So I'm like, fuck. So I made the second one. And someone said to me, they don't really like SEO guys, or calling yourself an SEO guy. So I called myself a digital marketer for the second one. Done the same process. All good. Fucking thing comes down after a few weeks. So I get frustrated. So I go and I look. Neil Patel's calling himself an entrepreneur. Brian Dean is also an entrepreneur. Jason Bernard, who I'm following his tool, is called an author. So I'm like, fuck, someone said you can't call yourself an SEO. Let's, revisit this and have a look and see what's going on. So I'm not fucking leaving. I am getting my knowledge panel. By hook or by crook, that's just my nature. I am getting that fucking knowledge panel. So, Amazon, how did I get on there? I use an old long-form blog post, put it into an ebook, release it in Amazon. Please don't ever buy this book, guys. All to get the Amazon author profile. So, boom, I'm on Amazon. I'm an author. Box ticked. But if I go back, this fucking thing in the middle, IMDb, keeps creeping up. I keep seeing it. Like, how the fuck do I get on IMDb? Internet Movie Database. How's an SEO guy getting on there? Anyway, like I do, I try and dig deep and look at what's happening. So I go to IMDb and I put my name in. Craig Campbell. Oh, there's an unclaimed listing of a Craig Campbell who's been in the second bottom film, which was a porn flick called The Rain Has Stopped. And this particular actor, who's got the same name, played a naked man. Now, I can assure you, that wasn't me. Anyway, so I've done this, and knowledge panel comes, and it was all good. All good. Till a couple of months later, I get a Facebook message. And a woman messaged me saying, Craig, are you an actor? And I'm like, fuck. Who's asking? She went, listen, what it is my partner has the same name as you, and he was in a film called The Rain Has Stopped. He's quite proud of his achievements. Can you tell me why your face is all over his IMDb? I'm like, fuck. Because obviously when I got the IMDb, I put my face on it, changed the bio, put some pictures of me up there and all that stuff. So I blocked that woman, and I'm like, shit, my knowledge panel's going to come down. She's going to grass me in. So I'm like, fuck. How do I get out of this? So I go to some other TV series that are local to me. Taggart, there was a film, A Shot at Glory, which was filmed in Glasgow, and they had characters who they didn't know who the person was. So in the Taggart example, Boy B, they didn't know who the actor who played that was. So it just says, like, I can't remember the exact wording, but like, unclaimed or something. And I'm like, fuck, I'm claiming that. I'm saying that was me. So boom, I get that listed on there. I get a couple of others. Now, the top 3, I have actually been in. However, at this time, I've got these acting credits for things that I've never fucking been in. Let's be honest. So, I'm still wary that my knowledge panel's potentially going to come down. How do I consolidate that? So, another 3 months passes. The knowledge panel's still there, but I've still got this thing in the back of my head with this woman. And this guy gets in touch and he says, Craig, are you an actor? I'm like, not this fucking bullshit again. And I say that I am, which I'm not. And he says, listen, you fit the part. I've seen you on YouTube. You do public speaking. I think you'd be great for the part. You know, can we talk about it? I'm like, come to the office, whatever. I thought I was being stitched up by one of my mates or whatever. Come to the office, we'll talk about it. And came to the office, and he's like, I like the tattoos. I like you. I think you play the part well. How about it? Cool. I'll give it a go. I'll give anything a go once. So I turn up, end up on Amazon Prime. I'm part of a crime series in Glasgow called Crime Lord. Now, I went there. I think I done reasonably well. And I get invited back for the whole fucking series. Which was a lot of fun. Something interesting and new. I got a lot of pictures and stuff like that. So it kind of corroborates that I am now an actor. So done that and done a few other bits and bobs from then. And knowledge panel, author, boom, it comes up there. Also comes up for actor as well. So the knowledge panel triggers, everything is all happy days. Now, in the SEO world, people are wolves. People follow, people, friends on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. Now, let me put this into context. A film like Star Wars had one director, and the guy was also the writing guy. The directors that were in Crime Lord, if you look through here, you'll see in the middle, just below the middle, Gareth Hoyle. You will see Andy Drinkwater, Randy Rodet, James Dooley, Graham Grieve, Dean Signori, and a whole bunch of other people who have all somehow landed themselves an IMDb link. Obviously, they're following my journey. The guy was like, Craig, why is all these fucking SEO guys messaging me? I'm like, dude, just take 50 quid for the IMDb link and just don't ask any questions. Because he has no fucking clue about SEO. Anyway, the whole fucking SEO world piled in. So Crime Lord has something like 92 fucking directors or something, which is mad. But done that, triggered the knowledge panel. I was then offered a part in something over in America, which I decided wasn't for me. And I was also offered a part in The Traitors, which a lot of you might be aware of. It was on the BBC in the UK. I think it was also in the US last year. I was ready to go in and film until I got the paperwork where it said your passport comes off you, your cell phone, laptop, tablets all get confiscated. You don't leave the hotel until you're told to. You don't talk to other contributors. You'll basically be locked in a room. There's going to be security there. And you'll not be leaving the hotel unless you get permission from the welfare team. And it says at the very bottom paragraph, there will be times you're at the hotel where you'll be asked not to leave your room, and the welfare team will periodically check in on you. That felt like going to jail, so I actually declined that one as well. But in this whole journey, one of the things that I missed out on, and if you look at Jason Bernard's tool, was Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia is fed information from Wikidata. They're two different things, but much the same rules apply. So Wikidata, one thing that no one tells you when you're trying to trigger a knowledge panel. So I go to the website legit and I buy a Wikidata profile from a guy, which obviously helps trigger your knowledge panel. So he delivers it and it's got the basics on there. The knowledge panel's triggered, my name and my date of birth there, that's it. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to log into this and I'm going to pad it out with more information, more pictures, more social media profiles and whatnot. Now, I've done all this acting, I'm happy with my knowledge panel, and I go in and edit the Wikidata. A couple of days later, the Wikidata's down, suspended, and my knowledge panel disappears. So I go to the Wikidata guy and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, dude, like, did you edit your own Wikidata? And I'm like, yeah. It says, who better to edit it than me? It's about me. He's like, nah, that's not how it works. So you cannot fucking edit your own Wikidata. You have to get a third party who's got a trusted Wikidata account, and they can edit it. Now, you can go to the website legit and you can buy your knowledge panel for $2.50. So that basically triggers it. Don't edit your own Wikidata. You can go to the same website and get an editor to do it. So on legit, the same guy that creates your Wikidata can also edit it. Now, I've lost 4 knowledge panels. The first thing, don't call yourself a digital marketer or an SEO. They don't like it. Buy up some wikis, Wiki Alpha, and so on and so forth, Fandom. There's a few others on there which I'll come to in a moment, and get on all the entities you can get on calicube.pro. That's free to use. That will help you trigger a knowledge panel that looks something along the lines of that. Now, a couple of other important steps. Now, I've said legit. Now, you can go out there, and if you just search for Wiki, you can go and you can get on Everypedia, you can get on Fandom, Everybody Wiki, and stuff like that. 3 of those are for a tenner. Now, these are all just to help trigger that knowledge panel. Now, you can also go on here and just put in Wikidata. Now, the person can go and create your Wikipedia, your Wikidata page. Now, these guys have trusted aged accounts. They're allowed to do that. You can't just walk on there and with a brand new account and start pinging in all sorts of information. It will just get taken down. That's why you need a trusted source to do it, and you can get that on legit. Now, even when it comes to Wikipedia, trying to get a Wikipedia page, you do not have to do it. A lot of people think that you need to have a Wikipedia to trigger a knowledge panel. I don't have a Wikipedia. I have tried. It's been taken down multiple times. But you do not need a Wikipedia to get a knowledge panel. A Wikipedia is really hard to get, depending who you are and if you're noteworthy and all that kind of stuff. But Wikipedia is the hardest of them all, and probably the most expensive of them all. But if you do everything else that I suggested, you will trigger your knowledge panel, and you won't fucking need to have a Wikipedia. Now, once you trigger your knowledge panel, I'm just going to go to the other Craig Campbell. I've got a celebrity comedian who's also called Craig Campbell. When you get your knowledge panel, this will normally come under it. Claim this knowledge panel. Make sure you do claim it, guys. Using your own Google account, it will come through saying that knowledge panel's yours. Blah, 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 blah. And it takes this box away so no one else can claim it. From there, when you go to your thing, when you go to your knowledge panel, you can go to feedback. Now, you can give general feedback and just put in, under something else, here is some more information, URLs, whatever you want to feed into it. You can feed it some profiles. You can change, you can give it feedback on the date of birth. If it's wrong, you can give it, mine's is calling me an actor now. It used to say author. So you can go in there and change the title and stuff like that. You can feed a lot of your own data in there. So make sure you are continually feeding Google the right knowledge. And finally, every single person, brand, whatever you call yourself, has a hub for Google to be able to go, crawl, and collect and join the dots for that person. That hub is normally your About Me page, or About Us page, or whatever. Now, on here, obviously, I've got my name is Craig Campbell, which links out to my knowledge panel so that they can say, right, that's the same guy. It's got my journey, my date of birth, the school that I went to, a bit about the background, the speaking events that I've been to, and it's joined all the dots for those. It has also got a link to my YouTube. It's got links to my other social media profiles, including my IMDb. It's got a link to my Crunchbase. It's got a link to the press articles. It's got a link to my Amazon book. And it's got some FAQs down at the bottom. Now, why do I have all of that? Basically, that is a hub. And I'm joining all the dots saying, this Craig Campbell is the same Craig Campbell that spoke at Chiang Mai. It's the same one it was on Forbes India. It's the same one it was in the Search Engine Journal. You're joining the dots for Google to establish that you are that same guy. And that is what then feeds your knowledge panel and triggers it and joins the dots for Google to understand who you are. So that About Us page really has to be padded out. Now, as I said earlier, a lot of websites that got slammed that don't have expertise, authority and trust, a lot of those old crappy affiliate websites, they have an About Us page with a fake guy on it, with no social media, with nothing about that person. That is why these websites were slammed. So make sure that you do build up the expertise, authority and trust. And, if you want PR releases, go to 38 Digital Market, buy yourself a PR blast. You can be on Google News, Fox News, ABC, blah, 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 blah. Get on these kind of things. You can pay to play and build that expertise, authority and trust. So there's no excuse not to do it. If I can do it, and I can blag my way in, then anyone can. So it's really important that you do get an element of PR. You do go to legit and buy some of the things so that you don't have to stand there in movies and all that kind of stuff. So that is how I built up some expertise, authority and trust. Now, of course, I've spoken at events. Of course, I do social media. Of course, I do podcasts and everything else, and I put myself around. You potentially have to do all of that to build a real business. So that is what expertise, authority and trust is all about.